Sorry, James. Just roll with it.
So we're doing it live. We're doing it live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to College Football Convo Through the Tunnel. It's presented by SuperDraft PRO, by the way. My name is Shawn Stewart, and I have my two good friends, by the way, is Khalid Davis and James. How are you doing this morning?
I am full. I ate good on Thursday, all that good college football. You know, yesterday was kind of not the best food, but then today we got more food.
Oh, that's much even better.
I just scratched the itch. I'm ready for this full day.
Exactly.
The meme where you got in their head, you got any more? That's what I need all day.
Oh, you doing that? You doing that Clayton Bigsby already?
All day.
Oh my heavens.
All day. All day. Before we get started, can we talk about the trickery? And I'm going to let James go on a tangent here. Excuse me, Shawn. The trickery that Ball State decided on play one of game one, decided, hey, this is the right way to start at Tennessee.
It was the best way to start against Tennessee was to do the flea flicker and do that whole the double reverse pass or whatever it was. It went great for them. It went splendid. For
Two plays later, Tennessee scored, and it was all.
No. 2 plays, one play.
One play later.
A grand total of one play. We had one interception and one touchdown.
Was it 58-10?
Yeah, it was that, and that was with like third and fourth stringers. So I was doing good while watching the backyard brawl, which we'll get to in a little bit. But my gosh, give me more of that.
I appreciate that. All right, so if you're watching this show right now, if you notice there is a QR code that's for like SuperDraft, so you can scan that QR code either on your Android phone or like your Apple device. And as I was explaining about what SuperDraft Pro is all about,
and I'm gonna do it. You can tell me.
Right. So all you have to do is put the full screen in and then scan that QR code, and then it'll take you to superdraftpro.com/sports for America. And also, Nerd Focus is actually doing a Labor Day sale, starts now. Go to our website at sportsforamerica.com. Use promo code L25NERD, and you'll get a 25% off of that purchase you get. So once again, Nerd Focus is actually doing a 25% off. Use promo code L25NERD to buy that energy drink, by the way. So go on our website, sportsforamerica.com, and then you'll see Nerd Focus, and then use that promo code as well. All right. Now we can get on with the topic. So it's not a surprise that they expanded the college football playoff to 12, which I figure that's a great idea to expand the playoff. So Khalid, we were talking about this. So what do you know about the expansion of the 12-team playoff?
So the 12-team playoff will start no later than 2026. They are trying to push to get it for the playoffs for 2024. It's going to be 6 conference champions, 6 at large. The top 6 ranked conference champions is how it's going to be established as if you're in. The top 4 rated conference champions get first round buys. Okay. We could have on-site playoff games.
Guaranteed on-site playoff games for the first.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then so we have on-site, and then the championship game will still be on a neutral field.
So from what it's Chris.
What's going on?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. We're just discussing the expansion. So from what I heard this morning, as I was driving in from work, it's going to be the first round games. The first round, which is the the 5 through 12 teams, will be playing on site. So 5 through 8 will have the home playoff game for like the quote unquote wild card round. It's going to be NFL playoffs pretty much. So we're going to have. Yeah, which spoiler I love. So you're gonna have on-site playoff games for the first round. Then the quarterfinals will be at a bowl site. Then the semifinals and championship will still be at a bowl site like it is. So what this?
Sorry, James.
So what this means is, not only do we keep the bowl system, which makes everybody happy, but we also get our cake and eat it too. So now all the conference champions have a playoff spot. So no more complaining from those lesser conferences from us bourgeois conferences, and we also get extra teams for that. So not only are you getting, all these guys, so no longer one loss will kill you.
No,
I mean, we're gonna see. This might actually have a chance to see 2 or 3 loss national.
I was gonna say you might get a 3-loss team in there.
You can.
You get a 3-loss team. I'm going to use Tennessee because I know Tennessee plays Georgia and Alabama every year. But if they lose to Georgia, Alabama, and they play Pitt the last couple of years in non-conference, so you're telling me a 3-loss Tennessee team isn't better than a 1-loss, Mountain West team that played nobody?
Hey, you leave out Boise State, Nevada out of this conversation, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hate that. Well, I'm not going to use the next year of the Fun Belt. Okay.
Hey! You didn't talk about the Fun Belt, okay? The Fun Belt actually has a win over a Power 5 team this year.
Man,
do not be hating on the Fun Belt.
Already.
Oh my God! I thought it was
the Fun Belt already
got
their first scalp.
Well, no, it's the Fun Belt. We have Thursday night weekday action, and then it's the Fun Belt.
Exactly.
Because their games are always entertaining.
They are. So Old Dominion's already has entered the Fun Belt in great style. So now
this is a great transition. Shawn, we talked about James Madison making their FBS debut this week.
That's correct.
At 6 o'clock, isn't that what we decided?
Yeah, it was
James Madison is hosting Middle Tennessee State. I will have that somewhere on one of my 4 to 5 screens I will have today.
That's awesome. Hey,
Need more TVs. Need more TVs. All the TVs need to be ours. I mean, this is where like going home and making yourself your own home sports bar is a great idea.
Absolutely. Just run that power bill all the way up.
I mean that's why I've got all the nice power in the world here for TVA. Thanks, guys.
Yay! Now, Chris, were you going to say something?
Yeah. I'm really surprised that after all the inactive discussions that they had, we thought this playoff thing was going to be dead, but now they were going to expand it. But the earliest they can approve it is 2024, or are we waiting till 2024 or 2026?
2026.
We don't know yet because they've already set championship sites for 24 and 25. So I don't know how that's going to affect the timing. But the other thing is, if you expand the playoffs, one, they're playing more games. 2, Georgia and Alabama played in that first weekend in December, and then they didn't play again until the end of December. So you're going to have less lag time with more playoff games.
Right.
Oh no, that sounds terrible. Please don't give me more college football.
It is. Who wants more?
Who wants more fun? Okay, so I'm hoping it's going to be 2024 only because that's also when I think the conference expansion is going to go down. So that's
when 24 is for the Big Ten, and I think it's still looking like 25 for the SEC.
Gotcha.
So I'm hoping. I don't think this goes to 2026. I think this goes before that because so the SEC is going to go to 9 games when Texas and Oklahoma come.
Right.
And now everybody can stop complaining that the SEC only plays 8 conference games.
Yeah, we're gonna have 9. All right.
Yes.
Put some respect on the name.
Right.
Anyway.
Put some respect on the name.
Put some respect on our name, okay?
This is why we the GOAT. GOAT.
Hold on. Time out, James. Interrupt you. Speaking of the GOAT, can we just talk about how this is the same exact proposal Greg Sankey proposed last year for expanding the playoffs, and everybody denied. James, continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is the SEC going to go SEC on us? Can we just say that we run this? Can we just start putting the 3-6 Mafia on this and say who run it?
The NCAA who? The SEC? Okay. All right.
It just means more in the SEC. That's all.
Dang right it does. All right.
Shawn, how did that last SEC opponent go for you, sir?
It was a bit. It was bad. It was so bad. I had to turn it off. I was like, I'm done.
For those of y'all that don't know, Shawn, would you like to stand up and show your shirt? Or do you
sure, I absolutely would. I got permission.
All right. Hail to the victors. All right. I got my shot in for the day. I think we're good now.
Yeah, we're good. Because we play Colorado State.
Right. And then you play softer than, the softest pillow.
Yeah, they got the SAWFT schedule in September.
SAWFT. So Also, back to the playoffs, and we'll move on.
Good.
Now that we've got 12, how many people are going to go, oh, well, we need 16?
Oh, no. Please give me more
It's
football.
going to end up looking like March Madness in the fall.
You know what? Just give me a 64-team playoff, please.
You're dang right. Yes.
That's what it looks like it's about to be.
Dang.
Bring it.
Just give me 64 teams.
I don't care. Oh, no. More football? No, I don't want that. Bring this into February.
That means the bowl system goes away if you put 64 teams.
Oh, sad.
Oh, no.
Darn.
No.
This isn't the NFL. Neutral site games don't mean anything.
No. Oh, you mean those poor kids getting that $50 Best Buy gift card to the Music City Bowl? Got it. Yeah.
You mean I get to go play I get to go play as a chance to play in the championship instead of the Outback Bowl?
Right. Or
I'm going to be missing them blooming onions, but
or the
I think they'll be okay.
The only one I would hate to miss is who doesn't want to go to the Bahamas? Send me to the Bahamas Bowl, okay?
Or the Hawaii Bowl.
Or the Hawaii Bowl, absolutely.
Well, I don't know if they're going to do the Hawaii Bowl this year
because
because Aloha Stadium is decrepit.
James said we don't want to go to Hawaii.
You don't want to do that. That Aloha Stadium is condemned. It's legit condemned.
All right, Shawn, I think we lost track of what we were doing here.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about the college football playoff.
So 12 teams, 6 conference champions, 6 at large. And as I think James said, it's pretty much confirmed we're going to have at least first round matchups on campus.
Yep.
So I mean, they can do it by 24 because they already have championship sites set for 24 and 25. Because one's in Miami and one's in Atlanta.
So,
gotcha.
I mean that'll be. I mean it'll be great. I mean I know everyone's going to be mad that the bowl system or they're going to talk about it's going to be the same people still in the championships. Hey, the NFL doesn't hurt from that happening. I mean, how many times have you seen Tom Brady and Peyton Manning play?
Who was complaining when Tom Brady was winning all the Super Bowls? The NFL wasn't.
Nope, no, they're racking in that money.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we? Yeah. So why magically get mad now that you're going to see the top 4 still there? I mean, unless Nick Saban finally retires and goes to the crypt that he belongs in, he's
bound to retire eventually, right?
I don't know.
He might die on the field.
Well, he might do the Bear Bryant. We don't know.
Well, he just signed a new contract, so they gave him a new 8.
Oh my gosh, that contract is ridiculous.
But yeah, don't pay the kids. Don't pay the kids, but give him like $12 million.
There is a clause in the contract that says if any coach and the SEC negotiates a deal and their deal is worth more than his, he gets that pay raise to stay the highest paid coach.
What?
In the SEC.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
I mean, I don't know how much more money in Alabama there is for him because I mean, they don't have as many boosters.
Can we just vote Nick Saban for president and we won't have any more problems? This would be the tightest run ship
that'd
ever.
Be a great idea.
This would be the most tight run ship ever.
The breakfast each morning is 2 oatmeal cream pies from Little Debbie and coffee. I mean,
yes.
That's what he eats every day for breakfast is an oatmeal cream pie from Little Debbie.
Right.
All right. I'm going to give one shout out and then we'll move on. Shout out to Vanderbilt leading the nation in points per game right now. Shout out Vanderbilt.
Right. That was a blowout. And
James,
also give us
you.
And also give a shout out to Northwestern. I think we all missed
last week. I think we went under on every game. And I think the over
Except for one.
Which one?
The Nebraska and
that was over.
That was over
too.
It was under.
No, I thought you said under.
No, we took under on all of them.
Yeah.
And I think all of them hit over.
Probably did.
So that shows y'all we know nothing.
Hey, you know what? We were doing educated guesses. Okay, it was week 0. All right.
That's true.
Exactly.
It was week 0.
That's true.
Right. Oh, there was a game we would talk about. The what was it? Cincinnati and Arkansas.
Oh,
game that nobody got mentioned.
I don't feel like the Cincinnati Arkansas game is being talked about enough. One, because Cincinnati is not going to be the same Cincinnati team. But while you have them at the table, the leg's going to fall out from under you, and Arkansas is just going to run all over them.
I mean, if Arkansas is anything like they were last year, they're going to run that ball. I mean, I'm not the biggest KJ Jefferson throwing fan.
Yeah, but when you run for over 300 yards a game, you don't have to pass the ball.
You don't have to throw the ball. I mean, look at how Georgia plays. You don't have when you run the ball like that. You don't have to throw the ball.
How many mediocre quarterbacks did Georgia hide in the mid 2010 and the 2010s behind Joe Cox, Hudson Mason, Aaron Murray? I feel like was
DJ Shockley.
Shockley in the early season. But how many behind Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, Todd Gurley was there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like how many mediocre quarterbacks can you hide? And we see teams do it all the time with the top. Wisconsin does it every year. They have a top 2 running back and a bottom 6 quarterback.
I mean, yeah, right. outside of Tolzien and Russell Wilson, when did Wisconsin ever throw the ball?
Exactly.
They didn't throw it that
hardly ever throw the ball.
And you would know. You're a Michigan man. You would know. Yeah. You play them regularly.
Exactly. Right. They like to run the ball more than passing.
I mean, yeah, of course they do. I mean, it's all the way back from like Ron Dane and all those guys. We can just pound that rock.
Cincinnati, I think, you deserve what you got last year. You made the playoffs, but your time is over. You're no longer the best G5 team. Oh, you decided to go play the SEC. Not the SEC, the SEC West.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, shout out to the game.
And congratulations, you're going to Fayetteville and going to Reynolds Stadium, which is going to be absolutely lubricated and definitely not going to be loud and obnoxious with them calling the Hogs every 5 seconds.
Just man.
I mean, it's good. They wanted the SEC smoke. They're going to get all of it and then some.
Mm-hmm. All the smoke.
All of it.
All the smoke.
See,
I hope they're ready for it. I mean,
what did you say, Chris?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a blowout between Arkansas.
Absolutely.
I mean, if this is the same Arkansas team, they didn't lose a lot from last year.
And they got Jaden Hazelwood from Oklahoma.
Yeah, God bless. Yeah, they got Oklahoma. Yeah, they got Hazelwood.
All right.
Yeah.
The spread on this game is. Let me see if I can find.
And also, was it the Cincinnati lost their 2 best corners? They lost Desmond Ridder. They lost a lot of talent from that team.
And 6.5. Arkansas is only a 6.5 point favorite.
Yeah, and it's a 6.5 point favorite.
Way too low for me. I would almost take Arkansas by double digits, pushing 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I would take like 13.5. I would take like 13.5 on Arkansas.
I think Luke Fickell's going to be able to do some defensive magic there. I think he's a really good coach. I think they'll be ready to play. But I just don't think they have the talent ready for that onslaught.
No, you can be ready to play and not be ready,
And it's also like
not be ready for what you play.
Yeah.
You can control so many things, but the quality of your opponent is not what you can control.
Yeah, and you know what? And who would have thought Sam Pittman would be this type of head coach?
Right, absolutely.
Because
we saw Ole Miss do it when they relieved Hugh Freeze and Matt Luke. That Ole Miss program looked nothing like what this Arkansas program looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you had him at Georgia. I had him at Tennessee. He was a great recruiter. We knew he could recruit.
He's a great offensive line coach.
Great offensive line coach. I just never saw him be this type of guy. I never thought he could be the head coach. Never would have thought million. I mean, now I would have.
Alma mater can do to you though.
This is true.
Now, there were a couple of games I did see. I did see the Illinois-Indiana game. That was a close game. I did see a little bit of the Michigan State and Western Michigan. I thought that was going to be an upset, but Michigan State was not playing around because I saw the first quarter, I'm done. They're going to win that game automatically.
Man, what a party. What a different feel we'd have on the show this morning. Had Michigan State lost last night.
I mean, it's not your this ain't your PJ Fleck, Western
no,
Michigan.
For sure.
I was telling Kayla last
Plus,
night.
Michigan State lost their running back to the draft.
But did Michigan State look the best in the world? No, but they look like a team that will bludgeon somebody to death. And you know what? I'll give Mel Tucker all the credit in the world. He had that team ready to beat the unholy god out of.
If we know one thing about
Western
Michigan State,
Michigan.
they're going to play defense because that is Mel Tucker's background.
Yes,
exactly.
They're going to play defense.
And what can I say about Illinois, Indiana? I think I put it in one of our. I messaged Caleb on it. I called it bowling shoe ugly game. I mean, that game was bad. That was ugly. I mean, how many turnovers were there in the fourth quarter of that game? There was like 5 of them.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I guess.
Sorry, go ahead.
I guess Indiana needed an SEC quarterback to go win a game. Shout out Connor Bazelak.
Yeah, they had to go get Bazelak. And I mean, and they had to go get the JUCO freaking wide receiver of the year last year. And like he just kept putting it on the floor. And I was like, man, how are you going to keep trusting this guy? He keeps putting it on the floor. But I mean, unfortunately, Illinois, I love the name DeVito. That guy's not a quarterback.
He looked good in that kind of spread offense at Syracuse.
But he don't look good.
More of a conventional style. Brett Bielema is very like a pro-style quarterback, pro-style system, and he just doesn't look up. Even that Wyoming game last week, they just ran the ball, and he wasn't much of a factor.
Yeah, I don't think he's the good enough. Him and a few other guys, like that poor Colorado quarterback that started before JT Stroud came in. That guy, he can't throw the ball. He let TCU eat.
That's tragic.
He can't throw the ball. TCU ate because they were like feasting on him, and that was just bad last night. As I said, Friday night games were kind of bowling shoe ugly. Thursday night games with the Purdue Penn State game. Oh my God, that was great.
Very close.
It was a great game.
The backyard brawl was good.
Backyard brawl was great. Yeah, exactly. And then now we've got Ohio State beating, probably going to beat up on Notre Dame. And then we got we got Arkansas, Cincinnati, and then we also got that game in Atlanta that Mr. Davis will be enjoying.
Yes, that will be on the big screen in the household.
And in the FSU LSU game, that's going to be my great. Oh my! I can't wait for that game. I'm really pumped up for that game. It's going to be close.
Before we get to player props, I'm going to ask y'all. I'm going to go first because I kind of already know where I'm going with this.
Sure.
What is one under the radar game you're watching this week? I'm going to watch. I've got Appalachian State in North Carolina. I'm going to peek at USC Rice because # don't lose to food.
Never ever.
James, what game are you watching this week?
Well, that's my upset alert is the App State North Carolina game.
Okay, so I'm sorry I took that from you.
Even though that's not really an upset because Appalachian State's now favored over North Carolina. Really? The Fun Belt team is up there.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they're favored right now. I'm looking at Caesars as we speak. Let's see. And I'm going through them right now.
Appalachian State's a 2.5 point favorite.
2.5 point favorite over that. Honestly, I'm actually really excited to see Troy versus Ole Miss just because I want to see what Lane Kiffin can do with a new quarterback.
Yes. Jackson Dart starting down there.
Jackson Dart starting.
And they also got Zach Evans.
Yeah. And also Coastal Carolina versus Army because I just love Coastal Carolina. Yes.
20th year anniversary for Coastal Carolina.
Jamie Chadwell is a darling of East Tennessee.
Jamie Chadwell is James' man crush.
He is. I mean, he's a great. He is from East Tennessee. He's from outside of Knoxville, and I love that funky it's almost like a triple option.
When somebody goes and scoops him up at a Power 5 school, watch out.
Yes, he almost got the Tennessee job. I've been told that he got real close to it. It was just those NCAA infractions.
One other, I'm watching an FCS FBS game. South Dakota State plays Iowa. Shawn, what under the radar game are you watching this week?
I am ready for Oregon and Georgia. That's the game I'm looking for, especially we have Georgia as the defending champs because they lost a lot of people, especially on defense on the draft. That's the game I'm really waiting for because that's a 3:30 game. I
actually feel really good about their offense this year. You still have Brock Bowers. You have what's his name? The other tight end. Amir something.
Oh God! You got Anna Gilbert. It's Anna Gilbert.
Anna Gilbert. Thank you. The transfer from LSU, who is actually going to be back full time with the team this year.
And you also got Bo Nix.
I'm not scared of Bo Nix. Bo Nix was 0-3 against Georgia at Auburn, and he didn't look impressive in any of those games. I'm more intrigued to see how Dan Lanning matches up with Georgia's offense, with him being the former defensive coordinator last year.
See, I am not excited for that game because I feel like it is going to be a baby seal clubbing victory for Georgia, only because.
Thank you for such the nice words, James.
Well, I mean, hey, you know what? That's about the best you're going to get out of me.
That's why I said thank you.
Because, I just see. I know that I've been following the recruiting, obviously, because Tennessee tries to recruit in the same pool and near Atlanta, and you guys are just loaded there. I mean, with Ringo and all those guys back, it's just going to be. You guys don't. They might have lost a lot of players from the draft, but they were going to reload them with more 5-star talent.
They might have lost all the players on defense, but they probably kept the best one.
Yes,
the best one's probably still there.
Yeah.
Chris, what game are you watching this week?
Well, I'm looking forward to Utah-Florida game because
yes,
I just want Florida to get. But also, there's another game, the LSU-Florida State one, only because is this the game Florida State come back or LSU gonna really blow them out though? But that's 2 games I'm looking forward to.
Do you think it makes a difference that while Florida State did play Duquesne last week, that Florida State's played a game and LSU hasn't?
Oh, no, it's not going to make any difference. Florida State's still struggling. They beat up on some opponent that nobody's heard of. So, I mean,
did they even really beat them up? I mean, it was Duquesne who literally had
nobody even heard of that team before.
I mean, I know they are because I watch college basketball.
Yeah, I know they're in Pittsburgh because there's their basketball school. So
right.
But other than that, I mean, I didn't even know they had a football program. I literally didn't. And then watching them going that's the type of thing I'd see from Duquesne football. It's absolutely a bunch of high schoolers out there. And Florida State still had trouble with them
for a little bit. No love lost with Utah beats Florida. You're going to get no love lost from these 2 SEC folks down here, okay?
I'm going to love every minute of it.
I'm going to watch Cam Rising throw the ball up and down the field all night long.
I'm a big Whittingham fan.
I love it. I
think he's a great coach. I mean, I actually like Billy Napier as a coach.
I think he'll figure it out.
Will he have time to figure it out there? Because how those psychopaths are.
Yes,
you and me both know about these psychopaths. We know how crazy they are. Will they at least let him have time to do it?
Going back to the Whittingham, you got to think Whittingham's been there. I think the only tenured coach longer than than Kyle Whittingham at Utah is Kurt Ferentz at Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about how long he's been, 23 years, I think he's been at Utah.
Yeah, he was right there after he was.
No, I think he's going into his 19th season. I think Urban Meyer left in 04 or 05.
Yes,
but you think about where that Utah program was as a Mountain West team, for them to go from a Mountain West team to BCS Busters to now in the Pac-12. You can't tell me in that time before they made it to the Pac-12 he couldn't have took a better job.
No, he could. He didn't have to, but he wanted to stay there, and he knew how special that program is.
Right,
and for that,
look what Weiss-Eccles Stadium is now.
Oh yeah, no, it used to be a nice little high school stadium, and now look at it. It looks like an actual football
stadium.
Yeah.
All right, Shawn, are you ready?
Sure.
Are you ready for these props? Let's try to make some people some money.
Not yet, because that's like a couple of minutes. Now, since we know it's week 1, if there was a game you think there was going to be an upset, what would it be? I'll start with you, Khalid.
Let me think.
Now, what are you considering an upset here?
Is it a ranked team or is it just a favorite losing?
Just a favorite losing in general.
You know what? We talked about this game, and he's on our player props later. I can see Boise State going into Oregon State and beating Oregon State.
But I thought Boise State was the favorite in that.
Oregon State's a 2.5-point favorite.
Are they? Okay.
No
I just
way.
looked it up.
He said, no way.
Oregon State's a 2.5-point favorite.
Oregon State's a 2.5-point favorite.
So that's going to be my upset this week. Is going to be Boise State over Oregon State.
Well,
I could have went Idaho over Washington State, but I feel a lot more comfortable about Boise State over Oregon State.
Poor Washington State. My goodness.
Oh my goodness.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
Charles Barkley, terrible.
They are. They're terrible. I mean, I thought Tennessee after Jarrett Garantano was bad, was scorched earth. Man, what he did to Washington State was even worse. Holy smokes.
Oh, speaking of Washington State, now that we're joking about it, I'm going to be interested to watch them play. They have incoming quarterback Cam Ward, who played at Incarnate Word last year, won the Jerry Rice Award for the top division for the top FCS player. And Washington State also hired former Incarnate Word head coach Eric Morris to be their offensive coordinator. So I'm going to be intrigued to watch that Washington State game. So I'm going to have to find it and try to find a way to watch it.
See, unfortunately, I'm not big on upsets right now because my biggest upset they're now a favorite. So yeah, I should have grabbed it earlier. Was Appalachian State when they were the underdog, and now they're the favorite. So
you want to grab Vanderbilt over Elon? Isn't that going to be an upset?
Yeah, I mean, after that tough game, after that tough game in Hawaii, they're going to have that big letdown game in Elon. Man. Poor Lancers coming in.
How was that a tough game? They blew them out by 53 points.
Yeah, we're being sarcastic because Vandy's.
Vandy. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So our whole thing in the SEC is we keep Vandy around for the academics
and the baseball
and their baseball. And but if you give them anything else, they become insufferable. Like worse than Tennessee fans with their arrogance because they got money.
Now, there's a game that probably people have not talked about is Virginia Tech at Old Dominion. That's the game that can probably be like an upset because there was a time that Hoagie football was built by recruitment, by the way. And then ODU returns like 17 starters from the team. Talk about Old Dominion, and they played like a bowl season a year ago. So they're slightly more than a touchdown favorite. So, oh, wait, that's Friday night. I'm so stupid.
Yeah, that happened last night. Yeah. I was going to sit there and go, Shawn, that was great. That was a great pick, Shawn. That was great.
Great pick.
You got it. You got that one.
You know what, Shawn? I think he's going to take that to Caesars.
Take that to the bank. Bet all your money. That was the Fun Belt, baby. Fun Belt all day long.
Now, there's another one. That was one of the 2-1, but the second one is like BYU at USF. That's the game.
I don't know. I know, like Gary Bohannon transferred in from Baylor for USF, but I don't know if they're going to have enough offense or enough physicality to stop BYU.
Yeah, BYU's a scary physical. I mean, Sunday. I'll give. Oh God, what is it? What's the Salaki or
Sataki?
Yeah, Sataki. He has gotten. He goes and recruits all them Islanders.
Yeah.
And so they are big, they are strong,
physical,
they hit hard. They're a physical team. They might not score a ton of points, but they don't need to because you ain't going to be able to survive scoring.
At least they got 18 starters coming back.
And they got starters coming back, which they don't lose a lot of starters.
And BYU can sneak into the playoffs. If you look at their schedule, they play Notre Dame in Vegas. I think they play USC this year. I'm not really sure.
Let me check, by the way.
No, they play Baylor. They play Notre Dame. So they have some games on their schedule where if they win, they're gonna be notches in the belt. Or come December, if they're undefeated, they'll at least be somebody to talk about.
They play Baylor. They play Oregon.
Oh, and Oregon. I know they play.
They play Notre Dame. They play Arkansas. Arkansas is going to them in October.
Arkansas decided we want to play real football this year, and they scheduled Cincinnati and BYU. Oh, by the way, they also play Alabama LSU and A&M every year. Just man,
congratulations!
Out here building a dynasty. You just don't know it yet.
I mean, they're ready for the real schedule coming up because I think but hey, at least their East opponent is South Carolina and Missouri. So yeah, they did hit the toughest of the East. So, but yeah, no, their schedule's terrible. So, God bless.
Yeah, because I'm looking at BYU schedule. It's not that bad actually, because their last game is at Stanford. So BYU got an interesting schedule.
They do.
You know what? I'll give them credit. They for being independent. They scheduled a pretty decent thing. Because I mean, Liberty's not a bad team. East Carolina's not a bad team. Boise State's not a bad team. I mean, they're early. Their only gimme game. Their only gimme game is Utah Tech and Utah State.
This is the last year that that BYU is going to be independent. They go to the Big 12 next year.
Mm-hmm. So awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Baylor game next week. That game,
that's going to be really so good.
I'm a big Dave Aranda fan.
We love Dave Aranda over here.
We're both Pate State alumni. So
yeah, we're pro Dave Aranda. You looking at his face, you don't know if they're winning by 30 or losing by 30, or if he just lost somebody in his family.
That's the best line Josh Pate's ever made ever.
Right? Like you don't know.
And wasn't there like a 32-year-old quarterback that was playing?
So in Oklahoma State, their punter is 32 years old.
Freshman, by the way.
What? 32 years
old. Freshman. He's from Australia. He played Australian football.
Oh, okay.
So he's a 32-year-old punter.
Freshman punter.
So I was talking with some people at work. I said, hey, if you can kick the ball, Oklahoma State might be looking for somebody, okay?
Hey, it gets windy out there, okay? It's Stillwater. You need somebody that has a strong leg, okay?
Just man.
You need that old man strength.
Just man.
Goodness gracious.
That's awful.
You could not make for a 32-year-old playing college football.
Years old.
Louisville's only a 5-point favorite at Syracuse. Oh, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
That might be a small screen watch.
This might be the year Dino Babers, surprises people.
That might be a small screen watch with sophomore running back Shawn Tucker.
Yeah.
That might be a small screen watch. Huh. Interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting.
All right. It is 10:37 right now. And by the way, you know what? And as a matter of fact, we know we didn't do the player props last week because they didn't have it, by the way. But great news is there is going to be player props for college football. So everybody should be excited as well for that. And before that, we do that. Exactly. And before that, I'm going to share the screen, ladies and gentlemen, so that way you can see it. So the website is called SuperDraft PRO, by the way. So this is my link, by the way. So it's superdraftpro.com/sports for America, where you can create your account. So you can create your account, by the way, either opportunity or get started away. And it gives you like the instructions and give you like a video to what SuperDraft Pro is. So it's superdraftpro.com/sports for America. So there you have it. All right. So let us get with the player props, by the way. So the first one is Stetson Bennett, 229.5. Now I actually got him as over.
That's brave.
I'm going over only because Georgia has some new running backs. And we saw what Brock Bowers did last year. I know Georgia lost George Pickens, but that poor 3-star tight end who beat out 2 5-star tight ends can still go out there and catch. So I'm going over on the over-under on that 229.5.
Only reason why I'm going to say under, and it's not because I don't think Stetson Bennett could throw. It's that I don't think they're going to throw because I feel like Kirby's just going to ground Oregon into the dirt on that turf and just.
But do you not think Dan Lanning is expecting a strong ground game, and he's going to have to run some play action to keep him off the run?
Yeah, I'm still gonna. I would still say under just because I don't trust it.
He just doesn't like Georgia. That's why.
Yeah, sorry, I hate Georgia. Yeah, sorry. Been seeing you guys for freaking 20 years. All right, get off me.
Doesn't like Georgia.
I'm
He's salty because he can't ever make it. You what, Chris?
I'm I'm gonna say I'm gonna go under only because I think they'll fall short of the yardage. Especially if Georgia has a good running game, then they don't need to throw the ball too much. But at the same time, I don't trust Oregon with their defense anyway. So Stetson Bennett won't need to put up too much stats. So I think Georgia will be fine.
Yeah, who says he's going to be there in the second half?
Right, like Shawn went over.
Okay. Here's the next one. Bo Nix.
Okay. Hey, it's our old friend. It's our old friend there, James.
Yes, Mr. Golden Flake himself.
Yeah, Bo Nix. Oh my God,
Mister. Hey, I'm more of a pocket quarterback, but let me go pretend I can play in Gus Malzahn's offense.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Supposedly, I'm a pocket quarterback. Yes.
Bo Nix, 187.5 pass yards. I have this as an over right now, even though he's playing in the Pac-12 right now. So if you want an upset, I would say I would choose the over. So I could say over 187.
I'm going the under. I don't know who he's going to throw to. And Georgia just is at the point where their defense just reloads.
I agree with you because I don't trust. I mean, I know his offensive line was good from last year with Oregon, but I don't know who he's throwing to. And I think Georgia's gonna just do Georgia things to him, and I don't see him throwing for.
And all about Georgia doing Georgia things.
Yes, I do. I mean, I've watched it. All right, I've seen it many times, so I'm gonna go under on that.
For those of y'all that don't know, that's Seent, S-E-E-N-T, Seent it.
Seent it.
For those of y'all that aren't from down in the South.
Okay, thank you for that term.
Chris, what you got? Over under.
Oh no, we lost Chris again.
Oh, Chris.
No.
He's in the void.
R.I.P. Chris. R.I.P.
Hey. Well,
take the L out of a lover. It's over, my brother.
Okay, here's another one. I thought this was like kind of high. Is C.J. Stroud with 345 pass yards. Now this one, I thought this was too much, so I'm gonna have to go with under on this one. I know he's gonna have a field day, but that's kind of too much, so I'm gonna say under.
I am actually going to go over. And Chris, when you and I talked about, Shawn, when you and I talked about, I initially said under. But between Jackson Smith-Njigba and Marvin Lewis Jr., why do I keep doing that? Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison going to come over there and wreck you for doing that.
I can see him going for over 400 yards. So
I'm going to Terry Tate off his linebacker you. By doing that.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. James, over. Easy. Over. I feel like Ohio State he's got too many weapons out there. He's going to be able to throw to the running back, which his name's coming blank for me. He's going to be throwing that out of the backfield as well. Notre Dame ain't ready for this smoke, and I feel like he might have this by the time it gets to halftime.
I was going to say, Shawn, when we talk about the Big Ten, we played fourth quarter or not with Ohio State in their schedule. More times than not, C.J. Stroud was not playing in the fourth quarter. Do you think C.J. Stroud's going to be playing in the fourth quarter of this game?
That's a tough question. If Notre Dame's defense doesn't show up, then I can see him doing that.
I think we had this as a fourth quarter poll, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We gave Notre Dame enough credit to give them a fourth quarter poll.
So I think we had in our game, we played fourth quarter poll.
Exactly.
And we had some games over. He was pulled before halftime.
I mean,
now here's another one. It is Michael Mayer with 65.5 yards.
This is the tight end for Notre Dame.
Receiving yards.
This is the tight end for Notre Dame.
I'm going to go over because I can't name another weapon for Notre Dame. So I'm going to go over because I don't know how Notre Dame's going to move the ball. I have such trust in Jim Knowles, watching him at Oklahoma State last year, that just
you're gonna go for it, which I'm not, because I have not trust a Notre Dame quarterback since let's see what's a good one. That Joe Montana kid came through.
That Joe Montana. I think he had a pretty good career, didn't he?
I think he did.
Okay. I'll have to fact check that when we get off of here, but I think he might have had a good career.
Yeah, he might have been okay.
He might have been all right for himself.
I mean, from Ian Book, I mean, they've had just mediocre quarterback play, and I just don't see.
Shout out Jimmy Clausen.
Jimmy Clausen should have went to Tennessee like your brothers. Anyway, I don't see him being able to throw enough to get 65 yards.
Chris, are you back?
Oh, it looks like we lost him again. The signal.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right, next one. It is Tyler Buchanan with Tyler Buchanan. 1.5 touchdown pass. I say more on that one. He should get more than 1.5.
I'm going to say less. Is it bad that I think he's only going to get 1 touchdown pass?
It wouldn't be bad.
I'm going to go under on Tyler Buckner and 1 touchdown pass.
No, I don't know if he's going to be able to throw a touchdown. I mean, I think they're going to be running it if they need to. I don't see him throwing a touchdown. Once again, you're going to have to show me that the actual Notre Dame quarterback can actually play quarterback in a big game.
Now the next one is Chance Nolan, 244.5 passing yards. Now I struggled with this one. I was like, I wanted to go over, but I was like, I'm going to have to go under on this one.
This is the quarterback for Oregon State, which we kind of touched on. I do think there's a chance they lose this game to Boise. But I do think he was quietly probably the best quarterback not named Cam Rising in the Pac-12 last year. So I'm going to go over on 244.5 for Chance Nolan.
I'm going to go over on that just because I feel like even if they get down, they're going to be in garbage time. He's going to be able to get this.
Garbage time's a real thing.
It is.
Garbage time is a real thing.
All right.
So I see that being passing yards. I feel like him going over.
All right. So we got the player props. Now we're going to do the over and under. Now here's one. Colorado State and Michigan. The total point is 61.5. Khalid, you'll start first.
It's not going to matter who they play at quarterback. They're still going to be able to run the ball. Michigan can put up 61 on their own over Colorado State. So I'm going to go over on 61.5.
I've always liked Jay Norvell's offense. I liked it when he was at Nevada. So I'm going to go over on that.
Right. I didn't even touch on that, but yeah. Jay Norvell's always had a throw it around the yard mentality.
Yep. I already missed him at Nevada.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, that game should be over as well. All right. The next one is Oregon and Georgia. The total points is 54. I have to say over on this one.
I'm leaning towards the under because I'm not sure if you split that in half if Oregon's going to get to 32, 31 or 32. So I'm going to go under. Georgia can put up 54, but I'm not sure if they're going to because they're not going to need to. So I can see this being like a 40, like a 35-10, 35-17, and the under hitting on that.
That's actually exactly where I had it because I feel I'm not worried about Georgia scoring points. I'm worried about Oregon being able to, and are they going to be able to throw the ball? So I feel like it's going to be a lot of running the ball, just limiting possessions, and just Georgia grinding them into dust. So I see that going under, not because I don't think both offenses can't score that thing. I just don't think they're going to have enough time to.
Gotcha. Now the next one is Cincinnati and Arkansas. Total points is 52.5.
I've already touched on this. I'm going to go over. I can see Arkansas putting up 62 points.
Even though nobody's not talking about that because we both said over before the show even started.
Right. And I just think that Arkansas has the big playability on the ground to put up 62 on their own. So I'm going to go over on – I don't think Arkansas is going to need much help because Arkansas put up 49. So this could be 49-10 in the over hits.
Yeah, well, once again, who's Arkansas's offensive coordinator again?
That Kendall Briles guy.
Yeah, that Kendall Briles guy. Last time I checked, he's pretty good at doing that offensive thing. Yeah, right?
And I also saw something. This is the first year that Kendall Briles has ever had the same quarterback in back-to-back years.
Exactly. Yeah,
So, but that Kenneth Riles kid's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he might be a deplorable human being, but he's an excellent offensive coordinator. So we're definitely
horrible human being,
but a great offensive coordinator. Just terrible human being, but a great offensive coordinator.
Next one,
we are a meritocracy here. We got to say by the merit.
Houston and University Texas San Antonio.
The Fighting Roadrunners.
Yeah, don't you turn your back on the Roadrunners. Now, the only reason why I'm a little worried about the total here is I don't know who's going to score points for San Antonio this year.
I'm going to say under this one.
I'm going under as well. One, I know Houston has a good defense. And two, they lost McCormick's their quarterback. So who is the running back? Their running back last year went to the draft. I can't think what his name is.
Yeah, he went in the NFL. So
I'm with the same with James. I'm just not sure if UTSA is going to score.
Exactly.
And they score enough.
Exactly.
And they turn that into a track meet.
Exactly.
Although if it was 49-42, would I be surprised? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Not at all. If you're trying to bet, stay away from this game.
I would.
Right.
And the next game we're going to talk about.
Next one is Rice and USC. Total points is 61.5. I actually can see this not only over, I could probably see this like around 80.
I've got it over. One, we know what Caleb Williams can do on offense. And we know what kind of offense Lincoln Riley runs. And two, if we've learned anything about Lincoln Riley, he doesn't really like to recruit defense. So would I be surprised to see Rice score 30 points? Not at all.
Outside of the commandment that is held up in sky with a stone saying, "Do not lose the food," you better score a bunch of points against the food. So you got to score points. So I see this going over only because I feel like Lincoln Riley is going to have to prove something at USC because what was the biggest thing on Clay Helton? That they couldn't score.
They had no offense.
They had no offense.
That's why they brought Lincoln Riley in, was because Lincoln Riley was more of an offensive style coach.
Exactly. So he's going to have a point to prove here. So I feel like that's going to go over just because Lincoln Riley has to put up those points.
And we've seen how electric that Caleb Williams kid is. He's pretty good.
He's good.
They also brought in Travis Dye, who transferred down from Oregon. So he can be able to run the ball. Jerry Rice's son, what is his name? Transferred from Colorado to USC. So USC has the weapons. So I'm not worried about USC at all scoring the ball this year. I'm worried about how many people they're going to stop from scoring.
Yep, arena football out in the pack.
Brendan Rice. It's Brendan Rice.
Thank you.
Brendan Rice.
And then on top of all that, we know Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley doesn't like defense. And he brought Alex Grinch, which was his defensive coordinator at Oklahoma.
But I liked Gorich when he was at the Pac-12 when he was with Washington State.
With a Pirate.
With the Pirate, exactly.
With the Pirate, Mike Leach.
Arg. Next one. It is Notre Dame and Ohio State. Total points is 58.5. I do see this as an over, but it's going to be very close between these two.
Well, I'm going to say over because I would trust Ohio State to score 40
especially
or 50.
Especially CJ Stroud.
Yes.
So I'm going to go over as well, but I feel way more positive about that than you do.
Yeah, I'm less positive about it, not because I don't trust Ohio State. I just don't trust Notre Dame. I don't. I will never in my entire life fathom how the AP poll was like Notre Dame's 5th in the nation.
Speaking of overrated teams, can somebody tell me why Texas A&M is 6th?
Recruiting hype, baby.
Chris Krugen. That's all I can think of.
Recruiting. It's all right.
Recruiting
it's all
play on the field means nothing.
All recruiting.
Yep. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Walter Nolan's time at in East Tennessee in high school, but he's gonna have to prove it to me that he has the work ethic.
So,
gotcha. Clemson and Georgia Tech. The total is 51.
I'm going to hit the under. I don't know what Clemson's offense is going to be, and I sure as hell don't know what Georgia Tech's offense is going to be.
Right.
I'm only going to say over because I feel like Clemson's going to score 51 points on Georgia Tech.
And I could see that being a 52-3 game, and I just lose all your money. But I just don't know who's going to score for either team.
That's what I said. I feel like we gave a lot of crap to DJ Uiagalelei last year.
He is well deserved, by the way.
It was well deserved criticism.
was like 10 to 11 touchdown to picks.
Yes, it was. However, I give a lot of criticism to that offensive line last year. I feel like the offensive line is going to be better, and he's going to be able to score more points, which is why I feel like Clemson could do this over on their own.
And we know that Clemson's defense is still there.
Yeah.
They always have first-round talent on the defensive line, especially in that front seven.
They've always had it.
We're under on this one. And then finally, FSU and LSU, the total points is 51. Not only I have this over, there's a reason why they say LSU by 3. So this is like a very more important game for Florida State to win this game. So I got to go with over 51 points.
James, go ahead. I'm convicted.
I'm only going to say over only because I feel like LSU is going to ground them up and spit them out. And this is going to get the Coach Prime phone calling Mississippi real quick after this game.
When the mothership calls, you better answer.
Yeah, I mean, especially right now with and
Who
also let's pray.
Pray
honestly, for be serious for a second. Pray to all the people who deal with the flood damage down in Mississippi, especially the Jackson area, especially Jackson State. They're dealing with a lot of stuff here. They don't have running water at the moment. They can't flush toilets, so he's been dealing with that. But yeah, he'll be getting more phone calls from Tallahassee here very shortly after LSU.
Who was it that said when the mothership calls home? Who said that? Somebody said
was that.
Let me check that out. What is it? How did it go?
That's a George. It's a Funkadelic.
Sound like George Clinton and the Pete Funkadelic or something like that.
Yes, it was. It was. Yes, George Clinton.
But back to. And I'm going to go under because I'm not sure what LSU's offense is going to be. And I'm not sure once FSU starts playing quality teams, what their offense is going to be. But just to touch on the Coach Prime thing really fast, I do think eventually he ends up at Florida State. But for this goofy personality that he put out on TV when he was on TV, did anybody expect him, one, to be this good of a coach, and two, to kind of run such a tight ship?
Absolutely not.
Heck
because
no.
he come out, there was a thing that he might, I expect all y'all to wear suits. Like, he expects them to treat this like a job and be very professional. So for I don't know how many people saw him being such a tight ship.
Especially during his playing days? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was the epitome of not being that during the 90s. Right. And then he shows up. And here's the other thing. Here's another guy that I was surprised that turned into be such a great coach. Warren Sapp is amazing as a
high school football?
Yes, he's doing great work. Warren Sapp is an amazing coach down there.
I got to see the highlights.
He is coaching up kids down there freaking like there's nothing. It's amazing.
Coach Prime is going to be an instant culture change because you just look from the outside, runs a very tight ship. Yep. And I just don't think anybody expected that from him.
I did not know Warren Sapp coached high school football.
Isn't he coaching in Oklahoma?
I forget where he's at right now.
Or is he in Florida?
I think he's in Florida.
Okay. Because he is from Florida, by the way.
So. Yeah, he's very much from. Yes, he's very much from that.
Yeah, he went to the U when it was the.
He went to the U.
Does anybody care about Miami playing Bethune-Cookman, or are you waiting until they play A&M to figure out what they are?
No, I'm gonna wait till they actually do. They play a real football team. No offense to the to Bethel Cookman. I mean, I'm gonna love their halftime show, but I'm not going. Their football program is not good.
Exactly.
He is actually Warren Sapp is coaching defensive linemen at Tampa Bay.
The NFL Tampa Bay?
That they're just saying that he's teaching people at Tampa Bay with the Buccaneers.
Wow, no wonder their defensive line is so good.
Why exactly? I
didn't know about that until the last 30 seconds.
Exactly. All right, so it is 10:59, by the way. So if the QR code did not scan, I will give you the link to it, and then you're able to create your account with that as well. All right.
Yeah. So when in doubt, fade my picks because I was terrible last week.
Hey, you have until 3:30, so that's the good part. You have until 3:30.
You don't know, don't agree with anything that we said.
Exactly. So
yeah, we are not responsible for you winning or losing money.
That's your guy's choice.
What did they say on game day when we all agree it goes the other way all the time?
Exactly.
If we all pick the over, bet the under.
You're dang right. I'm just going to keep being wrong because you know what? I'm not putting my money where my mouth is on this.
Look, man.
So yeah, you got until 3:30 to put the player props in, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll give the link to it, by the way. So thank you guys. We will see you guys next week and do more of this stuff. So have a great weekend and enjoy your games.
See you, fellas.
See you. Go Balls.
Go Blue.